So my name is Chloe Thomas. I am enrolled in Chattahoochee Technical College. This is the Module 6 video presentation, course number 41023. It is April 26th, 2026, and I chose the topic of temperament in young children. The reason I chose this topic is because I work in a 2-year-old class, so preschool 1, and I see a lot of temperament every day. And there's a lot of ways to deal with temperament. One of them being how to help in the moment. Sometimes when the big emotion's happening and you're dealing with it right in that moment, sometimes it's best to create a calm environment. So maybe putting them in a calm down corner with toys, little things that they can deal with quietly and to calm their emotions. You can also offer a lot of comfort, hugs, reassurance, positive reinforcements to help them get through their emotion. You can also, one of the biggest things that I do sometimes is I just step back from the moment. I've noticed with certain kids that if you just let them have their moment, they usually self-regulate and they'll be fine. But that doesn't always work. The biggest thing is to not punish them for their big feelings, because all feelings are valid and it's not worth punishing them over it when they are learning how to control their feelings. Another thing is I like to try to remember that every child is different, so it's going to be trial and error. Not everything you do is going to work. What works for one child is probably not going to work for another child, and that's okay. Sometimes, depending on the type of temperament, it might be best to ask the parents what's going on at home and if they're having these big emotions at home as well, and they might be able to help you form a solution on how to solve the problem in the classroom. Another thing is maybe if they are frustrated over whatever and what's causing the temperament, maybe getting them to ask for help to help them learn that they are having these big emotions, but they can be helped. Another thing that I also like to do is watch the kids and deal with their temperament in advance. But this goes with knowing these kids and being in the classroom with them a lot. You can see the beginning of what will cause a temperamental situation. Like, say if a kid is in the play kitchen and you know this one kid doesn't like to share a certain spatula, and one kid picks up this spatula and that triggers a whole moment. Watching that progress and catching it before the kid really sets off the other kid, that is a really big thing that you can do. But that just means being very honed in on your classroom and watching your children very closely to prevent certain temperamental situations. In conclusion, I do think there are several ways to deal with temperamental situations in the classroom. Not all of them work. It definitely is trial and error, but it can be dealt with, and it can be dealt with very positively. I honestly think it's one of the biggest joys of working in a 2-year-old classroom is dealing with these temperamental situations and all these big feelings, because it's really nice to know at the end of the day that you're helping these children learn how to regulate their emotions and deal with their big emotions. Because even as an adult, it's sometimes hard to deal with your emotions, and knowing that you're making a difference in these little children, it honestly, it makes it worth it.